Oh, why don't you just have Siri do it?
Because I actually want it to be tonight at 9 p.m. and not in 3 weeks at 9 p and the letter M. Hello, friends. Welcome to episode 83 of User Friendly. I'm your co-host, Aerofon Elijah. You might know me from the Cultcast podcast, which talks about all things Apple. I'm here with my friend
Roberto Hoyos from Throwboy Pillows, episode 83.
and we're going to have a chugging contest. Ready?
Yeah.
Do you remember when they used to do that on Dignation?
Yeah.
And neither Alex or
Kevin
could ever finish it. I bet you. I don't think we should really do it.
I'm at halfway now.
Yeah, especially because you're halfway.
So
And
I
this
guess
is a lot
we
of
should
beer.
do it.
I just keep
Ready,
going.
set, go.
Oh, the burn.
I won.
Oh, the burn. It burned so good. That's great audio right there. Hey. Hey, audio listeners.
You guys are missing out.
We really were chugging. Any hooskies? How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good.
We got the door open, by the way, just in case you hear any cars drive by, because it is hotter than a swamp sack in
I
here.
know, it's like not letting up.
It's muggy and not good.
But then we're gonna get really annoyed when it's dark and disgusting for like 20 months.
Yeah, I don't care. I was just saying the other day. I was like, it sucks when it's really hot and you're sweating all day, but
the mood that you get into when every day is dark and gray.
Yeah, sucks.
That's why we drink so much coffee in this city.
Yeah, it's why I do so much cocaine.
Exactly. Whatever works. Right now we can have our depressants.
That's right.
Because we're just too elated with the sun.
Oh, it's great when the sun goes down at like 7 or 8 or 9 even. Fantastic. Have you been?
Pretty good.
Fantastic.
Yesterday I went to a small convention, NerdyCon.
I saw that you posted something from there.
Yeah.
So what was it?
So my friend owns a comic book shop and collectible shop down in Tacoma, and they just did a grand reopening with like a way huger shop, and so they dubbed it NerdyCon, and it was like cosplay and like artists and all sorts of stuff. So it was really cool, and I had Throwboy there. And just kind of
You get a booth there?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, I just kind of hung out and met people, and I made a little video. It's on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/throwboypillows. And yeah, it was fun. The only thing is an hour drive, to get out there.
Yeah, did you take a lot of stuff with you as well, all your booth stuff?
I was just doing the display stuff, and then I was directing people to the site.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a pretty big convention?
It's not like a convention. It's just the store.
The reopening of the store?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I think that's going to be a cool thing for them, just to have some sort of community event each year. We're already thinking about doing like a ThrowCon and just do like an all Throwboy Day convention at their store.
Oh, at their store?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. ThrowCon. ThrowCon. Hey, man, I'm super drunk. I'm here for the Throw Up Con.
Yeah.
I think you got the wrong convention. Oh, there it is. It's next door.
That's the bar right over there,
Yeah.
which will be at.
Oh, there it is. Excellent.
How have you been?
Fantastic. I'm trying to think of anything really cool that happened this last week. Something that was really amazing. I might be getting a new painting for my house. That's pretty cool. My bro is gonna be lending me a new one. You guys can't see it. On the wall to my right here is a huge Frank Sinatra, which I love.
I always thought that was Steve Wozniak.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. It is Steve Wozniak.
You have it upside down, actually.
Yeah. Let me turn it over on the side. And so I'm getting a giant Bill Murray.
Oh, that's
because
pretty
I
cool.
love Bill Murray.
Is it in that style?
It's similar to this style.
Here, I'll tape it because this is probably
everyone's
really
gonna be
annoying.
like, "What the hell are they talking about?" And I was talking with my brother today because it's actually his birthday today.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Josh! And he's loaning me this painting, and I was telling him about this Bill Murray painting that I saw at ZombieCon. And I was there with Aaron, and there's this artist who had this amazing portrait. It was a painting of Bill Murray dressed in his Ghostbusters outfit, except he was a zombie.
Oh.
And it was incredible, but it was $300, which actually, in retrospect, for a painting, because it was pretty big, it was probably, I'd say, about that tall, but maybe a little bit narrower. $300 is not very much. Can you imagine how much work that was?
Yeah, you can find the best stuff at cons. I highly recommend that for, like, if you're looking for cool stuff for your house. just go to a Comic-Con. You'll find the coolest, most unique stuff.
That's very true. And
Yeah.
a lot of the artists have really, it's going to sound bad, they have really bad self-esteem.
They undervalue
They
their stuff.
undervalue their
Yeah.
work. So you can get the most amazing stuff and not spend a ton of money. Especially
Sometimes.
painters.
Yeah.
Sometimes the stuff you see just sucks.
And they
And
overprice
you're like, I
it.
want $400 for this. You're
Yeah.
like, you printed this on an inkjet printer.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to pay you $10 for this.
You put this rock from your garden in a rock tumbler.
Yeah.
And you're charging me 75
He's like,
bucks.
so do you have a rock tumbler? And you're like, no. He's like, see?
I'm almost
Just give me a
paid
check,
for.
brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my favorite is the people at the cons who, there's always prints. And prints are cool, they're great for your walls, but whether you're charging $10 for a print or $300 for a print, there's a lot of high-end places that sell prints, and they're like $300-$400, and they say the printer is made on a giclée printer, which is basically a fancy term for an inkjet printer, and they call it giclée. Now, granted, giclée printers are actually really expensive, and they do super high-resolution prints, but still, $300 was what is essentially an inkjet print.
Yeah, where you took it down to like a fancy printer.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
We've got PAX
cons.
coming up in 2 weeks.
Dude, how crazy is that?
Penny Arcade Expo, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, video game convention in the world.
We
Super excited for that.
I'm gonna just vlog, but I wonder if we should do some sort of video action there. You're gonna be walking around so much.
I'm gonna be walking around for 2 days straight,
Yeah.
getting my game on.
Yeah.
And actually,
Do
this
you do
year-
Do you do any sort of like businessy type stuff when you go, or do you just?
I
go?
used to, but not so much now. Now I think I'm just gonna go and just kind of hang out. And you know, I want to play some board games. I've never really been that big into board games, but this year I think I want to try it because we played some board games in the last 6 months that were really fun, and I feel like it's one of those things that you can do with other people. And everyone
That's
has a
how it
good time.
works.
Yeah. Rather than just do drugs, which is what we normally do.
Yeah, it's like I kind of feel like you, but then I think in my heart of hearts, I don't care for RPGs either on computer or in real life. I just don't care for them.
I kind of wonder. There's a game that I played. We played Cards Against Humanity. Remember?
Yeah, but
Did you like that?
Yeah, I played that a long time ago.
Okay, so
That's
games
not-
like that.
Yeah, but that's not typically the kind of game you'll find at a PAX.
No, the games that they have are like super involved. I
Yeah.
also played a game. I guess it was kind of a role playing game. That's such a broad genre.
It is. Maybe I'm dissing a whole genre. They maybe I have to get more into other ones because there's so many now that aren't just like
There's like a
Dungeons
zillion,
and Dragons
yeah.
and Knights and all that kind of shit. There's other
Yeah.
ones, you know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there was one that we played.
Like all sorts of topics.
Yeah, it was like very political and it didn't have anything to do with like Knights or Dragons or anything.
Very
Although those are the
political.
best kinds.
Yeah, so we'll be doing something for that. At least I'll be doing a video.
Are you going for 2 days straight?
Just one day.
Are you going to one day?
Yeah.
So you're going to go Saturday?
Yeah.
Because that party's on Sunday.
Okay.
So you don't have to go to PAX that day, but...
I don't have a choice. What am I gonna do? Like go Sunday instead of Saturday?
Well, I mean, I actually have extra passes if you want to buy one, but it's only $200
Yeah.
for one day.
I probably can only handle a day of PAX, to be honest with
I think a
you.
day's probably enough.
Yeah. It's not
But
really.
then you've kind of seen everything.
I don't think it's 100% my thing, unless I find a reason. But you're gonna be selling them in the next couple of days, right?
What?
Your passes.
The extra
online?
passes I have, yeah.
How'd you get them?
I purchased them. You have to just buy them as soon as they're released. You have to buy them because the con is so popular now.
Wait. Did you buy them off our friend?
Aaron?
And now you're flipping them
No. I am buying one from him for Saturday.
and flipping it.
No, I'm going Saturday. But the ones I bought for Sunday
he watches
from
this
PAX,
show,
yeah,
yeah.
no. I told him he actually asked me the same thing. He's like, I was like, can I buy your Saturday pass? And he said, sure, you know, as
If
long as
you
you don't
go.
yeah, as long as you go and you don't flip it. And I was like, how funny would it be if I met you there? And I was like, hey, dude, thanks. And I turned to my right. And then I meet the guy I was like there to meet. And I'm like, that'll be $200.
Yeah.
I hand it to him. I'm like, hey, thanks for meeting me down here. And I'm like, all right, peace out.
ya, Aaron.
Have a good day.
Do you find that the people that buy your passes for crazy amounts are foreigners and not from Seattle?
I don't price mine super crazily, but the last year that I sold mine, no, it was just some guy who came up here from another state,
Well, that's what I mean. Like, they're not from.
Oh,
there.
well, you said foreigner. I was like,
I
thinking
said
another
or
country.
not from Seattle.
Yeah, he wasn't from Seattle, but people pay. Some people who just didn't buy their tickets right away. PAX is so popular now.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of like Comic-Con in that when they go on sale, they immediately sell out, and a lot of them are just scalpers.
I would never pay over any. There's nothing that can make me want to pay more than the retail price for PAX, Comic-Con, or anything.
Yeah,
unless
Comic-Con,
it was,
definitely not.
Unless it was like PornCon and I'm getting some.
Gay PornCon. Roberto's there. How much you want for that pass? Sold. I don't care. Here's the money. PAX, I might consider.
I would never. Why? Like, there's next year.
I love PAX.
Why?
PAX, I just love video games.
So you're gonna pay $100 to $200?
Hell no.
That's what you're selling them for?
No. I'm not selling them mine for that much. I'll probably sell mine for $60.
Okay.
I would pay $60. In fact, I have paid. One year, I think I paid $85 for a pass.
Okay.
And I sell for $30.
Because I was thinking like $200.
No. $200 is like the 4-day passes. So they sell 4-day and they sell 1-day passes.
Uh-huh.
If I had a 4-day pass, that you could probably sell that for $300. But those passes are impossible to get because they sell out. I mean, like that immediately. As soon as they go on sale, they sell out.
Yeah, no.
Which sucks.
I'm good. Anyway, let's
get into the show. We wanted to start with the Steve Jobs movie.
Jobs.
I wrote a review on this on Call to Mac. You can read it there if you want. Just
scathing review.
Yeah, it wasn't scathing. It was realistic though, for sure. I didn't heap it with praise.
Unlike the movie.
On Jobs. Which was, full of praise on Jobs. But I thought it was interesting. You haven't seen it yet.
Nope.
We thought it would be cool if next week, are you going to go see Jobs?
So this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So I told Airfun he needs to see Pirates of Silicon Valley, the TV movie about Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. And I need to see Jobs. And then next week we will compare and contrast.
That sounds great.
What was the cool thing? What did you like about this movie and what did you like about this
I just want to hear what you think about Jobs because I've had several people tweet me. Probably I would imagine some of them watch this show. And they're like, you were way wrong. This movie's not as bad as you thought it was, so on and so forth. That's great. I'm glad you enjoyed the movie.
Okay.
I enjoyed it too. I just don't think it's a very good movie.
And see, I don't know. I understand what movies have to do to make them entertaining, and I'm not saying like Pirates of Silicon Valley is the perfect adaptation of a life on movie. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure there's drama added and whatnot, like every other movie in the world. So I don't care about that. I think people bash movies for that. Like, I think, doesn't Social Network get bashed for that?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. So you're saying that it was overly dramatized or something?
Like that kind of stuff. It's just like, no shit.
That was not at all my problem with that
exactly.
movie.
So I'm just want to preface that that's not an issue for me.
Yeah.
But I just think that, like, for a lot of younger people right now, this is their first exposure to, I love Apple, I love Steve Jobs. Oh, there's a movie.
Oh, that's so
right?
sad.
That's their first exposure to a Jobs movie.
That's painful.
And it's your first exposure too.
Because
what I was gonna say is, like, there's this other movie that a lot of people should see, right?
Yes, to a movie, yes, but I was thinking first exposure to Steve Jobs, as you were saying.
That would suck.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my gosh, to see Ashton Kutcher
think.
in this role as your first exposure to Steve Jobs, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, I consider myself
good.
sort of a Jobs aficionado, I guess, because I've read 3 of the different books, and yeah, I mean, I was just kind of like a really big nerd into him, I guess, but so I'm not gonna be like, oh well, they got so many facts wrong. I might, but I just think that I just want to see it as its own thing. Yeah. And I was telling you, I was like, I just like seeing adaptations of people's lives into movie versions, and then I'll just make the call if I like it or not. You know? It could be just a crappy movie, right? But anyway, I just think that a lot of people should go see that other one because it's great. And it has an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Right. By the way, we looked before Jobs, the new Jobs movie, 25%. And that was critics' score. The people who actually saw it, it was like 53%. So people generally either liked or disliked this movie. There wasn't a lot of people that were on the fence. I mean, I guess maybe I shouldn't say that because I did like it. But as I said earlier, I just don't think it's a very good movie. And Ashton Kutcher, Steve Jobs, I just was painful. It was painful for me. There were some parts where I was in the movie and I actually was into the storytelling, and then I just got pulled out by his acting because I'm like, there's Kelso, trying to be Steve Jobs, and it's so painful for me to watch him do this.
Yeah, I think that it's hard because there's so many different reasons you could be biased against this movie. You could like just not like him as an actor. You could not like the way that the story is made because it's not accurate to the real stories of Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
There's just like...
I think the old guard, that's going to be more the case. Like, they're like, this isn't accurate. Like, that was like Waz's main problem with the film.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's a lot of... Yeah, you're right. That's a lot of like, I think Leo Laporte, that's his beef.
Really? He was like, oh, this is like
not accurate. Yeah. But I mean, I can't really talk because I haven't seen it,
Yeah.
So, do you want to just give your quick review of this movie?
I guess we talked about it last week. Yeah, so I feel like I've kind of expressed myself so many times about what I thought of this movie. It was... had an amazing cast. I just felt like Ashton Kutcher was not a believable Steve Jobs. His performance, I felt like, was a caricature. It was like Steve was either being like the visionary that everyone's just like, oh my gosh, he's amazing. Like just watching him in awe. He's like he was almost like a superhero.
Okay.
And then in the very next moment, he'd be screaming at somebody over something and berating them and treating them really poorly. And those were the two extremes of the movie. And his character for me was really hollow because the performance that was given painted him as a sociopath. And I don't believe Steve Jobs was a sociopath. I don't think that he was always scheming, always manipulating, always doing a power play. And I don't think he was like this genius right from the get-go. I think he made a lot of mistakes, and he learned how to become a very good business person. But there's a scene in the movie where he's negotiating a deal, and it's like he's negotiating with a seasoned business person, and he just is like all of a sudden breaking out all these new terms and using all this language that you're like, whoa, where did he learn that? And the guy he's making the deal with is just like looking around like, whoa, like this guy knows his stuff, right? And you're like, you gotta be kidding me.
That's what I heard early reviews that were just like, this does nothing but just fawn over Steve Jobs the entire movie.
Yes, it does that. It's too much.
That sucks because like, I mean, there's obvious reasons why there could be a balance of like good and bad, and not just that he's yelling at people. That's not the only bad thing, right?
Yes.
Did they touch on his child out of wedlock and all that kind of stuff?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, but only very surfacey. She has a very small part in the movie, and I don't know. I mean, Ashton Kutcher, he does this walk.
A lot of people are hating on that. What is that about?
It was lumbering and awkward. So he does, like when Daniel Day-Lewis did Lincoln.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, you haven't? That was a great movie. And he kind of takes on the persona of Lincoln. He does the walk. But the difference is that Daniel Day-Lewis's version was believable. Ashton Kutcher's walk was lumbering, and it was very strange. It looked like he was about to fall over. And it was like an exaggerated version of what Steve Jobs did. And it just didn't come off as authentic to me. It came off as really overdone. It was overbaked. And it needed to be drawn back so that it's something that you may or may not have noticed. And not the way he did it was so in your face. Like, why is he walking like that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the way he spoke, too. And the way he, like made his face move to do like Steve Jobs' facial expressions.
Really?
It was overbaked. It was just too much.
See, the other thing, I mean, so Steve Jobs, when the Pirates of Silicon Valley came out, like, and we'll probably talk about this more next week, but it was like Steve Jobs circa, that came out in like 2002. So he wasn't like the superstar celebrity that he eventually became. I mean, he was still definitely a celebrity, but post iPod, post iPhone, post iPad, he became more and more and more like, is this even a person anymore? Because he's so
he
perfect,
really did hit his stride
right?
about 2001,
right?
right?
So like that time period when they did that movie, there was still, it was like a lot of people didn't know this guy's story. A lot of people didn't know like where who this guy was unless you were like a big Apple nerd. So now I feel like the bar is so high where you have to like totally knock it out of the park and really be a character, like come into its own, where you're not just being a imitation of the real person, you know?
That's what it felt like to me.
Because like
It was just an imitation.
yeah.
But I want to put this out there again, because there's people that are watching who are getting mad at me and they're like, dude, you're so wrong. Yeah, you might be right. You might have really loved this. There's been probably about 10, 15 people who actually went and saw this and felt compelled to tell me that they didn't agree with me. That's great. If you don't agree with me, that's totally fine. Mm-hmm. Everyone's gonna feel differently about this. I don't think I'm going to convince you that it was bad, and you're not going to convince me it was good.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. And I am really interested to see the Aaron Sorkin one, though, because Aaron Sorkin is a pro. I mean, the guy who wrote the Jobs movie, he is super green behind the ears, right? He hasn't done a lot of stuff before. And it's going to be interesting to see what Aaron Sorkin can do with this. And hopefully the story will be much more focused. One of my other complaints with this movie was that it was very unfocused. They were trying to cram in so much stuff that by the end of it, I was just like, what was the purpose of this movie? Like, what did you focus on? What are we supposed to take away from this? It was just one event after another.
Yeah, I hate that one. Because it's like, let's cram in every single thing that you've heard about this celebrity into a movie.
Yes, and that's what it is. It's like...
There's movies that do that. I'm not just pointing out on this one, but... It sounds to me like, just based on the trailer, I was like, how many freaking things are there in this movie?
Everything you have ever heard about him is in this movie.
Okay.
To the point where somebody sits down food in front of Steve Jobs and some other people, and somebody in the movie has to point out, he leans into another character, he goes, he's a fruitarian, he only eats fruit. And I'm like, why did you need to say that in this situation? It made no sense. Except for the fact that you needed to point out that Steve Jobs is just unlike anybody else. He only eats fruit. And we need to let the people watching this know this.
You have to see this other movie that I'm telling you about, because literally, like, everything that you're saying that you've like spoilered is in this other movie, but I think done in a probably a better
more
way.
artistic way.
Yeah. And maybe it's not. Maybe, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not the only one that thinks it's a good movie, so...
No, obviously, it has a really good score.
I also like the fact that it touches on the parallels between his life and Bill Gates' life at the same time, because they came up during the same time. But that movie's pretty simple to find. I mean, you can find it on torrent or whatever, because
it's on Netflix, isn't it?
It is not on Netflix.
It used to be.
When?
Because I had it in my queue forever.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I think we always argue about this because I'm like, it's not on Netflix.
Let's look. I had the artwork in my mind, and that's the only way I would have seen the artwork.
Is it this?
If it was on Netflix. He was going like this. He was by himself, right? He was in his mid-50s. He was staring intently at me from the screen.
Have you finished that book?
No. Have you?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Can we end the show?
Dude, I have no time to read. Although I am trying to read more.
Can I just give you the audiobook and
you know what?
Q-tip it
full
into your ear?
Full confession, I have the audiobook. and I've listened to it, but I really want to just read it. I don't want to listen to it on audio.
Oh, maybe it is on. Oh no, it says unavailable. Okay. Anyway.
Dude, look at that haircut.
Let's move on.
Okay, hey, you want to talk about Google?
Yeah.
So let's, what were you going to say?
There's some new news now. I think it was just the other day. Thank you for whoever tweeted this at me. I apologize. I don't remember who it was, but Google Checkout is closing down.
Uh-huh.
So I thought this was...
Everyone at home just went, huh? What's that?
Wait, when did that come out? Yeah. I thought this was an interesting topic because I kind of chuckled after I heard this. I was like, yeah, Google Checkout. That was a really great idea, and everyone was using it, you know? But that makes a bigger thing, like, not even why is it checking out?
Yeah. Google checked out.
It's more the whole, what do you call it, conversation about why does Google kind of get rid of things so fast?
Yeah.
You know
I mean, I think it's cool that they try new stuff and then they get rid of it when it doesn't work. But my main problem with this, and this is one of the reasons why I want to talk about this product going away, is there's been several products like Google Checkouts, Google Chat is another one.
Yeah,
where
G-Chat.
they're like these excellent services, but
Wave.
oh gosh, I will give you $100 right now if you can tell me what Wave is. Can you even tell me?
It's like email.
It's like, yeah, you don't get that $100.
It's a dog.
You gotta write it. I know that, right? You gotta write the Google Wave. I totally had wiped that from my memory bank, so you just reloaded it. It goes like this. I know that. It's like a dolphin motion, right? That was their mascot, I think.
You do that in front of your camera, and then it sends an email.
Yeah. That was the main feature. You just go like this, and the email gets sent. That was so great. That they make these products. I'm gonna take some heat for this, but I'm gonna put this out there. They make products that, in my opinion, the UIs are so bad that they just end up not being used. And I think that Google Checkout was just another one of those casualties where it seemed like a cool thing. I had used it several times, generally because I was getting discounts at different vendors to actually try it. And it didn't seem bad, but the UI was confusing, and I didn't necessarily understand how to change settings and add information and all that other kind of stuff. And I felt that way about even like Google Plus. When I use Google Plus, it's just not intuitive to me. And there's circles, and there's all these like bizarre settings that are all interconnected on the internet. Like now that Google owns YouTube, now your YouTube account is connected to your Google account.
Yeah, it's kind of
clunky. A lot of these things just kind of don't make immediate sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, I'm just dull. But
I mean, up until very recently, I felt like YouTube's UI was really hard to use and really bad.
It's gotten a lot better, hasn't it?
It's gotten better, but
Yeah.
some people discount that as a reason for not using things because they're like, yeah, well, I figured it out, so it's good. It's a good UI. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right. Hey,
I mean, a good example of that is MySpace. MySpace was horrendous. But everybody used it because it was like, well, you know what? That's all we can use, and I learned how to use it, and now I'm fine, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that it was a good intuitive UI, right?
Yeah, very true.
And I felt like YouTube definitely had that going on for many years. Now it's a lot better, and it feels a lot more structured and more like utilitarian.
It feels way more structured now.
And it feels more solid. Like you feel like you're uploading to this very solid thing, and it's not so kitschy MySpacey, you know what I mean? Because I mean, it started like that, and then Google now owns it. I think they've taken more ownership over it, and it's definitely the best streaming player in the world, right? I mean, no argument there.
YouTube.
But yeah, I mean, some of their other products, I don't know. They just seem like they must have all these little divisions, these little camps that come up with some idea, and they're given the freedom to come up with some idea.
You're probably
and
right.
They just go with it, and they see whatever sticks, and Google Glass could be another one of those, It could be their first hardware venture, and then all of a sudden they say that it sucks, and then go for another hardware
Well, I was
venture.
talking earlier on this show about the Chromecast, Google Chromecast, and that product is fantastic. And the box was great, the instructions were great, the interface on the Chromecast itself is really good. It made immediate sense on how to use it. I didn't have to read the instructions.
Yeah.
I just kind of perused them real fast. And so you have that experience, which is really good. And so I know Google has it in them to create these really top-end, user experiences. But then you go to, like, even Gmail. When I use Gmail, it's even still.
Yeah, I feel like that too.
Like, it just doesn't make a ton of sense. It could be a lot better. Even if you think it makes sense, there's no way you could disagree with me. It could be a lot better.
Yes. I'm so glad you said that, because there's so many people that are, like, huge fanboys of Gmail, and they live in gmail.com, and I'm like, really? Like, are you seriously going to argue with me that there couldn't be a better application for this? There couldn't be a better experience with this?
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me? Like, even Apple Mail, the simple thing of you can open a mail and you can drag a photo in it. You can't even do that on freaking Gmail, right? Like, little things like that seem intuitive, like drag and drop type stuff. That is not an intuitive or good email client. It's just the most popular one, and it's good because it's solid. Like, engineering wise, it's solid, but come on. It's like the simplest, like, they didn't reinvent anything. It's the same exact thing we've seen since, like, Hotmail.
Right. Yeah. It's just very reliable.
Yeah.
And
yeah, exactly. Reliable is not the same as a good user experience. Okay.
Yeah, I would not consider.
And just
Gmail
because
to
you
have a
got
great
used to the user experience doesn't mean it's a good user experience.
It's just what you're used to.
Right. It's like my Ford runs every day. It's the best car in the world. No, it's not.
It does what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in any case, if you were a, well, let's be honest, there's no one out there that used Google Checkout religiously, so c'est la vie. So long, fare thee well. And then you see, products like Square that do a similar thing, though they don't do checkout online yet.
Yeah.
But
well, they do.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Well, they have their stores.
Yeah.
But you can't use it as like a PayPal type thing.
Oh, yeah,
That's
kind
of what I meant.
You can't. Yeah.
Although I would imagine they're going to be building that in. But then use a product like Square and you're like, whoa.
Do you feel like it's better? Google sort of, they have this brand Google, right? Some products crash and burn and some are really beloved and well done.
Uh-huh.
But then they have companies like Apple where they have to put all of their eggs in one basket and they put out something because they think it should exist.
Yeah.
Which one do you think is a better business to be in?
Oh, man. When it comes to hardware,
Okay.
I think that Apple is doing the right thing where they are really, really methodical about what they're doing and why.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to software, I think I'm a little less stringent on that just because software is so much easier. Like you can iterate, create something, put it out there.
Yeah.
And see if it fits a need. I can't really say that one is really better than the other generally because Apple has a lot of really great products and then Apple has products that aren't great like Ping. Remember Ping?
Yeah.
And like that was a
even
huge
like Mobile
dud.
Me or something.
Mobile
like that.
Me, another one that's not super popular. And then you have Google who puts out a ton of products that they iterate quickly. They probably get up really fast, and then if they don't work, they just kill them.
Yeah.
And some stick and some don't. But Google does have, I mean, in the last like let's say 10 years, how many products can you think of from Google that have really blown up? There's Google. Gmail, Google Maps, and then Google Reader, which they killed because it wasn't popular enough. So you really have three things. I mean, what else does Google have that's been really popular?
Android.
And Android,
Yeah.
obviously. Sorry, that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
But they're not making any money from Android.
No.
So...
Yeah, they just, they're not in the business of that kind of, selling things like that.
Right, yeah. And they tried a bunch of stuff and obviously wasted a bunch of money, but I think
I think it's just interesting that they can still have a prestige about their name and about what people feel towards their brand, even though they publicly kill things left and right. You know what I mean? Like not many. I think that's a tech company philosophy, like to just kind of kill something and move on, rather than, like Sony. If something fails, you don't hear about it publicly. It's just like something just failed.
Oh my gosh,
right?
yeah, they just silently strangle it.
Yeah, and Samsung and any other electronics company or computer company, I guess, it's nothing like that.
Yeah, they just kill it off quick.
Yeah.
You never hear.
You
from
never
it
hear.
again.
They don't see a press release like, "Oh, did you know that Sony killed the ZX293?"
No. Pan out to the earth.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me, kind of off topic, of like when you haven't heard from a celebrity in a long time, then you hear about something about them. I was listening to a playlist on Spotify. And this is actually pretty cool. It was like, hey, you grew up in like the 90s or whatever. Do you want to list, like Montel Jordan was really popular when you were in like whatever grade.
Yeah, like
do you want
8th grade.
Yeah. Do you want to listen? And I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's pretty awesome. And then it had like a playlist, like Monica. Remember Monica was in there? And all these artists I haven't heard from or heard about in probably 10 years. And you're like, I wonder what they're doing now. They just totally disappeared from the public persona, and you don't remember them, you don't think about them, they're just gone.
Yeah.
And we're so inundated with all this information all the time that when something disappears, you just don't think about it anymore.
Monica's huge on Twitter.
Of course she is. Yeah, she probably has like 8 million followers. Her and Will Wheaton are doing some freaking convention together.
Yeah, her and Brandy.
Sorry, well,
and...
Brandy. Yeah, right. Whatever happened to Brandy?
I think she's doing okay, but
she's probably doing fine.
She does like reality shows or something.
Probably. She's gonna be a judge on America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like the most loved one. Hey, before we move on real fast, I just wanted to say, last show, if you saw or heard, we're doing a Mike T's discount. I'm closing up shop. And it's sad, but it means that I'm going to be giving discounts for everything that we have left. We're trying to liquidate everything. And we might be selling off everything to a friend of mine who actually has a business where he sells some of our stuff. But in the meantime, thanks for everyone that bought something. It's awesome that you got a cool shirt, and plus it helps me out, so that's really cool. If anyone is interested, the discount code's still valid. You can save 50% off your order. Just use the code UF50 at mightees.com, MIGHTTEES, and you'll get 50% off your order. It's like huge discount. So, sweet. And thanks again to everyone that bought something since last show. You wanted to wrap up with an app, right?
A very hyped up app.
You know,
do you like those hyped up apps?
Those are my favorite kind. The hypier the better. Let me open this up though real fast.
Cool. So we'll have Erfan record this.
I'm gonna record this thing like you would not believe. Oh, what am I doing?
No,
Derp.
Not doing that.
Derp.
So,
do you have anything on your screen that you need to hide?
No, I'm good.
No pictures of.
This app is called MixBit. Have you guys heard of this? So it's the people that started YouTube, the founders of YouTube, have started doing this new app called MixBit. Basically, it's supposed to be like a Vine/Instagram competitor. Is like that's what they pitched it as, or at least that's what people think it is. So, basically, what you do is you record video. So we'll record this great video of my screen here, and every time you touch the button, it starts. Which you guys know how that works. So it's recording right now, and it's weird because it records it in like a 16:9.
Yeah.
Instead of a square, and then when you let go, it's done a clip, and you can keep doing that. So I'm just gonna kind of.
It's kind of trippy having you do that on your screen because like I can like see your screen and then I see your screen through your screen.
It doesn't matter. I'll do this one over here. We have like nothing but like room scenery anyway. Okay, so then when you're done, you hit the play button. Can you see this?
Yep.
And I'm gonna turn this down. So basically, this is the quote unquote like magic secret sauce of this app. Is basically you can select different clips that you took, and then you can drag them around to be in different orders, or you can click into them and then edit them. And like actually edit them, kind of like the QuickTime feature on what do you call it?
iMovie.
On iMovie or even the built-in camera feature, right? And then after that, you can share it, and that's it. There's no social in this app. There's nothing there's no feed. You just share it.
This is app free
to other social networks. This app is free. That's the whole app. I thought it was very, very underwhelming. I didn't really understand why this was cool, and to me, there's my little review. I just think it feels like an app that you would buy on the App Store for like $1.99 from some random developer, and it's called like Easy Editor or something like that. Because that feels so simple. It's like you can take multiple clips, rearrange them, and shorten them.
But isn't there other stuff that does stuff like this already?
Yeah, like basically iMovie can do that.
So can I stop this?
Yeah.
So this is from Chad Hurley, right?
Yeah, the founder of Hurley.
Co-founder of Hurley and YouTube. And I saw him on a podcast recently, and he was actually talking. Kevin Rose asked him specifically.
He was doing this?
The whole episode. And I was like, man, he must have like amazing biceps. Just keep going. And he wouldn't address it, neither did Kevin. He was just like, so anyway, I built this out from the ground up.
And they pan back to him, and he has like two earrings.
Yeah, you saw it.
And a puka shell.
He had puka shell, and he had a longboard in the back. But it was like in Ohio, so that was pretty weird.
Yeah, I could smell the Hurley smell from here.
Yeah. And so anyway, he was talking about his next thing. Kevin Rose had asked him what he was going to do with all this YouTube money and what he was working on.
Yeah.
And he said, I think the next big thing is not just, creating content, sharing content. It's creating good content and enabling people to create better content with their iPhone. Mm-hmm. And so I heard this probably 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah,
and then you show me this app, and I'm like, this is it?
Yeah.
Like, this is what you've been working on?
Yeah.
Because the way he described it, it sounded like it was going to be this really big
deal,
thing.
right? Of course. I mean, it got pressed because they're the YouTube guys, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Is he working on it with? Is his name Brian Chan, the guy?
From what I hear, it's both of them. Yeah.
Okay.
But
it may not be Brian Chan.
I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the other guy. But yeah, I'm not trying to like hate, but I mean, it doesn't really deserve credit because it's not very good. I mean, come on. Like that seems so basic.
When it only does that, yeah, it's very surprising that that's all it does.
There's no time limit in terms of the video. It's not like a Vine type of thing. But I think that Vine has kind of carved out its own niche of.
I would definitely agree.
Of like just something different than sharing a regular video. It's like I don't think there needs to be. I think it's kind of proving that this is sort of like what short content can be, and anything else just needs to go to YouTube or some sort of online video.
Even
service.
Instagram video has not really taken off.
No, I throw stuff on there, and I always get maybe like a 20% of what I normally get.
Yeah.
As far as like engagement or likes.
Yeah. And I think the other thing about Instagram, this is really smart that Vine did this, is they built in discovery, so it makes it really easy to find new users who are doing things that you might like. I think most of the time it's them being funny.
Oh, you mean Vine?
What did I say?
Instagram.
I'm sorry, yes. Vine is built in discovery. So, like, it's really easy to find people creating funny videos on Vine.
Yeah.
On Instagram, like, how would you find those people?
Yeah, the popular feed is just still a zoo, and it's just, like, a bunch of spam.
Yeah,
but, like,
it's just a bunch of spam.
Yeah, I mean, Vine's really interesting. Like, I don't actually make Vines, and I think a lot of people actually don't. I think they actually consume them far more.
Yeah.
I think we all kind of tried it and decided, like, oh, maybe this is for me, maybe it's not. But then there's some people that are super clever with it, and I'm not just talking about stop motion. There's some really good comedians on there that can do really funny stuff in 6 seconds. And I just pop in there and like scroll through, and I'm like,
do you have a favorite one?
Yeah, my favorite one is called King Batch.
Okay.
You should watch it. It's like he has some really funny stuff.
My current favorite one, his name is Nicholas Megalis.
Okay.
And it's interesting. He used to be like a serious musician. He was trying to make it as a musician, but he's really funny, and his Vine has taken off. He has like 2 million followers now.
It's funny. Now you can usually look up their names on YouTube, and people have strung together their Vines. So if like you want to get somebody into like somebody else's Vines, you can like send them a whole YouTube video of like strung together
of just
Vines.
that person's Vines. And then there's Vines. There's a lot of Vines by famous people that sometimes are really hit and miss. Like
the Workaholics guys. Those aren't funny.
They're on Vine?
Yeah, they're not good though.
Oh man,
it's too bad they're not good on like that medium.
But I saw Anders Holm
do
commencement speech at his college, and it was crickets.
Oh really?
Oh gosh.
I don't think they're very good in terms of like an interview setting or like a non-sketch comedy setting.
I think Adam Devine is actually really good. Have you seen him on Conan?
No.
You can, if you watch Workaholics, you can Google his or YouTube his video, and it was actually really good. And then I saw Blake, not as funny, and then I saw Anders, and I was like, "Ooh boy, this is hard to watch." It's just like when he's making jokes and nobody's laughing, it's just painful. I was like, "Bro, I feel your pain. That's tough." Yeah. Sometimes my jokes go flat, and I'm like, "Oh boy, it's time to move on."
We should reenact that. Why don't you just be funny, and I'll be like,
yeah. So anyway, then I said, "That's not what goes in the punch bowl." The cough. The cough was perfect. It's just like you're so unamused that you're just more worried about just like clearing your throat. You're like, "Oh, I got a cough." I don't even care. I'm like not even paying attention to what you're saying because I have to cough twice. It's terrible. You can tell that we both drink these mega beers. This thing's huge. How many ounces is this?
22.
22?
We need to do that every week. 22s.
Drink a 22-inch beer. 22 inches of pure beer. This is a good beer, too. I did a tour of Aside before we wrap up here. This is New Belgium from New Belgium Brewery, right?
Is it actually? No, it says Fort Collins, Colorado.
Yes. And I did that tour in Fort Collins, Colorado.
Really?
Oh, it was really
Was it
cool.
Did you have to wear like a hairnet?
No, you didn't. That was cool. But they have a huge bottlery place in there where they like bottle all the beers. But the cool part is that they have a brewery in the bottom floor where you can go in and you can have 3 beers a day for free.
Really?
You just go in, and they used to do more, but they said they were having a problem with people showing up and just getting hammered and leaving every day. So like they had to cut it down to 3.
And you get to drink like those fat tires and stuff?
Yeah, they come in smaller glasses. They're probably like 8-ounce glasses, but you can go there every single day and get 3 beers, no charge. Pretty awesome, right?
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah, and they have great beer.
We have breweries in Washington. Do they do that?
No, not for free.
They don't do tours.
Well, I take that back. If you do a tour, yeah, you get free beer. But like Arrowhead, for instance, like they're in Woodinville, Washington, you can go on a tour and you'll get free beer. But they have like a freaking like bar. Like you just go in there and get beer. You don't have to do a tour.
Oh, okay.
Like you can just go in and just be like, "Hey, I'm here for my 3 beers," and they just give you 3 beers.
They're fun.
Hey, well, I thought you said you quit drinking.
Yeah.
You're back.
Your leaves whistling the Cheers theme.
All right, we should probably wrap it up, right?
Yeah.
Do we have anything else?
No, I think we're
That's
good.
All right, cool. Hey, if you aren't already subscribed to us on YouTube, you should do that because we have both a video and an audio feed, both free.
Not on YouTube.
And we're also on YouTube. What did I say?
Just keep going.
Oh, and also, by the way, if you have not left us a 5-star iTunes review and you like the show and you feel like, hey, this show deserves 5 stars, I want to do that. Please go to iTunes and do that. They help us out in the rankings, and plus, as you can tell from the production quality, we make actually absolutely no money from making this show. We survive solely off your praise. Mm-hmm. So every single star helps. So if you would do that for us, that'd be great.
And you can find us on YouTube as well, youtube.com/userfriendlyshow and facebook.com/userfriendlyshow. We'll interact. We'll do this.
That's how he types.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's true.
I got an air typing keyboard. But thanks for watching. This has been episode 83. And
let's do one final clink. User friendly.
And we will catch you guys on the flip flop.
Send.
Did we forget? Oh, we forgot our Twitters.
Oh, let's just put them in there now.
We forgot to say our Twitter.
Hey, where would I find out about you on the internet?
You can find me on twitter.com/Roberto Hoyos, RobertoHoyos. And what about you?
At Erfon, ERFON.
And until next time.
We'll see you guys on the wave next time.